众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的《对话好莱坞》，我是主持人蓝天。著名杀人狂迈克尔·迈尔斯 （Michael Myers） 又回归了。帝门影业与特兰卡斯影业再次推出全新的万圣节月光光心慌慌续篇《万圣节归来》。那这也是该系列 IP 第11部影片了。那影片的主角呢，主要是一个18岁的男孩，他是曾惨死在迈克尔·迈尔斯手下的受害者的后代哈。那另一位主角呢，就是对这个迈克尔·迈尔斯案子特别感兴趣的一位警察，甚至把这个案子看得比自己的女儿都还要重要。那迈克尔·迈尔斯呢，身陷死库，等着被执行死刑哈，但是他意外的脱身，又有一群年轻人陷入了危险的边缘。那今天呢，在万圣节来临之际，我们特地邀请到了影片的几位主创来跟我们分享一下这部影片背后的故事，一起来看一看。
Testing 1, 2, 3. We're on.
We're here to investigate a patient that killed 3 innocent teenagers on a Halloween in 1978.
As a writer and director of this series, can you talk about the inspiration of this film in relation to the original Halloween?
Stylistically, we use John Carpenter's 1978 film as our creative foundation. We're a sequel to that, and no one else. Is the way that we looked at it. And so stylistically, we tried to approach it very in honor of that. And to be able to go to these heightened places of terror, we wanted to establish a very relatable sense of drama. And these characters, to put them in an everyday world that we all recognize and is not extraordinary. And then let's add the intensity and intimacy of a man with a knife in your house trying to kill you.
He was shot by his own psychiatrist and taken into custody that night, and has spent the last 40 years in captivity. Hello, Michael. I have something you might like to see.
So what is the central idea and the theme of this film, and how were you able to manifest that in the film?
Part of the idea of this film was like, the effect, the long-term effect of violence and experiencing violence and horror. And so to be able to see how that one fateful night where Laurie and Michael met, how it's affected her daughter, her granddaughter, and how with time it affects them differently. It almost seemed like it was dissecting Laurie in 3 different points of her life.
Turns into a nutcase this time of year. Yeah, I mean, your grandmother is Laurie Strode. She was almost murdered.
Wasn't it her brother who murdered all those babysitters?
No, it was not her brother. That's something that people made up.
Do you know that I pray every night that he would escape?
What the hell did you do that for?
So I can kill him.
So what makes this true story, so intriguing to audiences all around the world?
Those characters could give you a little perspective on how the world sees Michael Myers. And I think in this day and age when you have things like Making a Murderer and people are kind of obsessed with this true crime stuff and going back and looking at old cases and re-examining, maybe who really was at fault or who was really the victim. And it just seemed like that was, I don't know, I just could picture someone trying to make a Netflix special about Michael Myers, but withholding some evidence to make it look like Michael Myers was actually the victim.
The bus crashed.
Mom, what bus crashed?
Michael escaped.
Excuse me, somebody's in here.
Hello?
So what do you think that makes Michael Myers super scary?
I personally find him terrifying from the first time I was introduced to Michael Myers to even now on this set. Mostly in the original and this one, is that his killings are really random and there's no rhyme or reason, and he's just kind of a shark.
He's waited for this night. He's waited for me. I've waited for him. Get out! Go home! Get inside! You don't believe in the boogeyman? He's here! Michael!
How was it working with David Gordon Green?
David is a genius at the base, but he's also really collaborative, and I feel like part of the reason he loves doing what he does is to work with all these people who have very different minds and very different ideas and have different approaches to the same story, you know, and he's not shy or precious about exploring that, and so it makes for a really fun time.
You should.
Can you close the closet door?
How do you feel about being a part of this franchise?
It's a pivotal movie in cinema and certainly horror history, and to be a part of reimagining the franchise, I mean, I've been really excited about that.
So my house is here. Which one should we go to? They're all spooky. I'm gonna pick that one over on across the street. Yeah. Oh, what the? Hey! Sorry about that. Sorry.
40 years ago, on Halloween night, Michael Myers murdered 3 people.
After that horrific night, he was sent back to the institution in captivity.
How was the overall vibe of the set, and what are some of the fun stuff that happened in the movie?
The vibe on set is like every idea counts and every idea is worth trying, and that feels really inclusive and fun. We have a lot of blood and a lot of violence, and it takes place on Halloween. So those things. Oh, and I'm burying the lead. We have Laurie Strode, ladies and gentlemen.
Prayed every night that he would escape.
What the hell did you do that for?
Why do you think it's so important to get John Carpenter back on board? And was that process super difficult?
Our approach required ethically John's signature. John to say, thumbs up, let's go, I'm going to be a part of this. If we were going to be as authentic and honorable to his 1978 movie as we were saying we were, we had to have his blessing. And then once he was on board, it was time for the next challenge of the conversation, is to convince him to do the score. The sound of Halloween is so iconic, but for me to have his signature, not only as an executive producer and a collaborator on the creation of the narrative and the casting and the sculpting of the production, but icing on the cake would be a John Carpenter score.
So I can kill him. The bus crashed.
Michael Myers escaped. He'll return to Haddonfield, his home.
I need to protect my family. You have no security system, Karen.
Mom, you need help.
Evil is real.
reason we're supposed to be afraid of the snake.
I've been preparing for this for a long time. It is not safe to be on the street tonight. Go home! Get out of here! Get inside! Michael! He's here.
As a director of this series, what was your first reaction when you watched the original Halloween as a kid?
First time I watched Halloween as a kid, I was 12 years old at my friend's slumber party. It was his birthday party, and my parents had forbidden me from watching Revenge of the Nerds and Halloween, two movies that I really wanted to see. We put on Halloween, and I'm pretty sure I made it through the whole movie. My recollection's a little foggy because I was so traumatized, but then I got ill and barfed and called my mom to come get me. That was my introduction to what would later become one of the cinematic loves of my life.
Michael Myers is a human being who killed his sister when he was 6 years old. And he came after you. We just want to know why. We want a glimpse inside his mind.
Michael Myers murdered 5 people. And he's a human being we need to understand.
They're transferring him.
Tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, he'll be locked away until the end of his days.
That's the idea.
Laurie, we saw him. We met with Michael. I showed him the mask. There was nothing. No response, nothing. He won't talk to anyone. Never has, but I think he might speak with you.
So why did you want to hire David on as a director for this film?
I wanted to get a director who's not necessarily known for horror, and hopefully an A-list director. And after having met so many directors and hearing several pitches, finally I was able to get Jason Blum at Blumhouse on board with that idea, and I give him credit. He was able to bring David to the picture. I had been a fan of David's for years, and before even meeting with him, I thought it would be an amazing opportunity.
Ray! Karen! Where's Ray? Michael's here. Get downstairs. Go, baby, go!
Ultimately, I think the fans are going to be extremely excited about, yes, Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. I mean, she is the star of this franchise. For her to return is just amazing. To see Michael in the mask again. And I think that there's a great curiosity as to where it's going to go. How is it going to be different? And I think they're going to be very pleasantly surprised.
The boogeyman? All this hiding, all this preparation, it was for nothing. I mean, it took priority over your family. It cost you your family.
If the way I raised your mother means that she hates me, but that she's prepared for the horrors of this world, then I can live with that.
Say goodbye to Michael and get over it.
好，接下来让我们来关注一下影片的制作花絮。
I have something I borrowed from the Attorney General's office. Something I think you might like to see.
Even though you're far.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Probably.
There you go now. Okay, yeah, let's just do this first. Let's reset one, and it's just let's do it. You see what I'm doing here. Just keep doing something, Aaron. We can find that looks good.
Yeah, babe, come on.
Happy Halloween!
Her 6-year-old brother crept in quietly with a kitchen knife.
He then proceeded to slice the base of her skull.
Then he comes in. Yeah, we'll just like that whole song. We do one take of just those bits. And I'll be right. I'll just be right up camera.
You'll have fun. And Vicky will also have fun because I will come over and do all sorts of cool stuff. Like,
Hey, 2201 Myers, Michael!
Scene 25, take 2, Mark.
Hello.
Lori, put the gun down.
Stop right there!
She took me out of school. She taught me how to shoot a gun, how to fight.
What it's like to feel real terror. I've never wanted you to feel that. That is why I've tried to protect you.
Hey, Mark.
好的，那么以上呢就是今天对话好莱坞的全部内容了，感谢大家的收看。在这里呢，蓝天也要祝各位万圣节快乐啊！我们下一期同一时间再见了，拜拜。
There's a reason we're supposed to be afraid of the sight.
I've been preparing for this for a long time. It is not safe to be on the street tonight. Go home! Get out of here! Get inside! Michael! He's here. He is a killer, but he will be killed tonight. Happy Halloween, Michael.